Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Mother's Day is right around the corner, and so I thought I would share with you kind of a gift guide, some ideas that I came up with. Sometimes it's hard to think of what you want to get your mom. So I came up with some ideas, not just perfumes, a few other things as well. So yeah, I want to share them with you. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Weird and Wonderful family. I would love to have you join the community. And yeah, I think that's it. Without further ado, let's get into this. The first thing I thought of was getting them a really nice handbag. Oh, and also, just so you know, I'll leave everything in the description box. So any links to companies I mention, I'll leave Amazon links, just anything that I can think of, I'll leave links. I'm not sponsored in any way for this video at all, but just things that I can think of that I think would be great, I want to share with you. Whether you're a spouse of a mom or you're a kid that want to get your mom something, I've got you covered. I think I've got you covered. So the first thing I thought of was handbags. Now, most women love handbags. Not all women like to spend money on them, so this is an opportunity to buy something a little bit special for your mom. But what I want to suggest is that you buy a really well-constructed handbag that's going to last her years. So I recommend going with something leather. I purchased this one about a year ago, and I absolutely love it. I bought it at Winners. It was $100. So it's a bit pricier, but it's not extraordinary considering the prices of handbags these days for a leather bag. And so this one has suede on the inside. It's really beautifully stitched. It's classic, and I absolutely love it. So buying something like that and maybe going with a neutral color like the camel color or a black is a really great idea. I also have like this clutch that I've had for years, leather again, and I find that leather just holds up so nice and it kind of just ages really nicely. So this one I've had for years. It's darkened over the time, but I just love it. I love that it's like a little envelope thing. Yeah, so depending on the person, they might like the little clutches. This has a strap or something a little bit fancier like this. But going with something leather or like a vegan leather, but making sure that it's really well made. One company that I just totally drool over and that's way more pricey than this one is Teddy Blake bags. So I'll leave their link below if you want to really splurge for your mom. Buying something from there, they've got gorgeous handbags. So that's one idea. Another idea, of course, is perfume. I couldn't not mention perfumes. When I think of getting a perfume for my mom, I'm thinking of something relatively classy, something that's mass appealing, but also comes in a beautiful bottle. So some options, I'm not going to go through a whole lot, but something like La Belle, a lot of women are really loving this one. The bottle, of course, is gorgeous. This is by Jean-Paul Gaultier. It's pear vanilla vetiver, and it's just kind of sweet and juicy. You could go with something like Elisab Le Parfum. This one is more orange blossom, so more floral. It's quite heady, so for some it might be headache inducing, but I just think it's such a gorgeous, classy bottle and scent. Then of course there's something like Mon Guerlain by Guerlain. This one has lavender. It's a bit, yeah, it's kind of a sweet, comforting scent with that lavender in it. I just think it's beautiful, and I think of mums whenever I smell it. And then of course there's something like Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. This is beautiful, opens up with a bit of citrus. It's floral, but it's got some woods in there that balance it out. This one's super classy as well and lasts a long time. There are so many options that you can pick. Now, another option for fragrances is to buy a perfume sampler box for your mom. I've seen them at Sephora in the States. They don't have it in Canada, but in Canada at Shoppers Drug Mart, we have a few different boxes that you can purchase right now. Usually department stores have something similar as well because the brands will actually put them out. And so what it is you get this box. I'll put pictures on the screens here for you. You get a box and it'll have either mini perfumes or the samplers. So you'll get maybe 10 little tiny vials of fragrance. And so she can choose, like she can try out all of those perfumes, like let's say 8 or 10 fragrances are included in the sample box. She tries out the perfumes, and then when she decides which one she likes best, she gets a coupon where she can buy, or where she can trade it in for a full bottle of fragrance. So a lot of times actually the fragrance boxes or the samplers are more reasonably priced than the actual perfume. But I just think it's a really neat thing. It's kind of a discovery kit for her, so it's kind of fun to try out all the different fragrances and then to find one that she likes, and she can bring the coupon in then whenever she's ready to get her full bottle. So I just think that's super fun. So that's a great option because it's really hard, I think, to pick fragrance for people unless you really know their taste. And you can always just ask, you know, you can always ask. The other thing that I would suggest, if you're buying a fragrance for your mom, try to buy it off of the discount websites so you're getting a better price. There's lots, I always have them linked below. They're super reputable, and you can get a fragrance there a lot of times for way cheaper than what you would pay at the department stores. So if you want to save a bit of money, that's a great way to do it. Another really wonderful gift is getting them something that is either coffee or tea related, depending on what they're into. So there's always little indulgences that you know, you can get that kind of amp up your tea or coffee game. So for me, one of those was this teapot from David's Tea. Now it's pretty rough looking because I've had it for quite a few years. But what's cool about this one is you put your leaves in there, and there's a strainer at the bottom. So you just dump your leaves in here, and then it actually pours through the bottom. So you just you set your cup on here and press this, and then the tea pours through here. So this is really cool if the person if your mom really enjoys loose leaf tea. You get her something like this, and then get her a few different tea choices. Another thing is to get her a nice selection of teas from kind of one of those tea houses, like I'm talking about David's Tea, but I'm sure there's all sorts of different ones. And then get her a cool little strainer, maybe a mug, maybe some tea biscuits to go along with it. Just something that's like a sampler. That's always fun. For coffee drinkers, I've got this Bodum single French press, which is great because you can fill your coffee grinds in here, take it to work, and then just pour your water in and have your hot cup of coffee whenever you want. Another option would be to go with a milk frother. Those are really popular, the ones where you can do cold milk or hot milk and then froth it up. Those are super popular these days. The other two things that I've seen that I'm really wanting to get is a pour over coffee maker, where you pour the hot water into this thing and it kind of funnels it down, or an insulated French press. So both the French press and the pour overs tend to make better coffee than, you know, your typical Keurig or your typical coffee makers. So for you like baristas or coffee snobs, something like that would be nice. Coffee tea things to me are just really fun to get, especially if it's things that you wouldn't normally purchase for yourself, but you know, I don't know, just something different. So another option would be to buy them a nice cozy throw. I know I can't seem to get enough throws, and whenever I think I've like gone a little bit too crazy, they always seem to disappear and end up in my son's room, and I need more of them. So we have a TV room where we keep a big basket, and we just have throws in there. So, you know, you can never have too many throws, and you can get them for such great prices these days. Of course, if you know the taste or aesthetic in her house, you could always buy one that she could use draping over a chair or something like that, that's a little bit prettier as well. Another thing that's really great for Mother's Day would be jewelry. So dainty jewelry is in right now, so I've got some kind of daintier jewelry pieces. I know Ana Luisa is really putting out a major campaign right now. They have really nice pieces that are a little bit more affordable. This was from boldier.com, and yeah, like they're not, like, I think they're gold plated, but they've been holding up. I wear them almost every day and they're great. Another option that I just think is really beautiful is going with something like a Pandora bracelet. So with a Pandora, you usually buy the starter bracelet and then you get 1 or 2 charms to begin with. And they're not cheap. So you only have a couple of them, but then it's something that you can, you know, she can buy different charms as time goes on. You can buy her a different charm for different special occasions. This one I got kind of as a family, instead of getting a family ring, I went with a family bracelet. So the light blue represents my son and the purple represents me. Those are kind of our birthstone colors. And then the silver represents my husband. So this is kind of my family charm bracelet. And what's fun about these is that I you know, got the charms over time, but each charm is actually quite meaningful to me. So from that perspective, these are really, really fun. And then you can actually be kind of working on this with your mom over the next few years to build it up. So I love Pandora bracelets. I just think they're so beautiful. I think they're quite classy. And I've had this one now for years. The clasp stays great. I've actually got 2 bracelets and I just think they're beautiful. They kind of look a little bit fancy. Yeah, I just think they're gorgeous. So Pandora bracelets I think are a great option if you're wanting to get something that's a little bit more, like this is a bit more high-end, you know, this sterling silver, and yeah, something that where the charms end up being quite meaningful. I think this is a great way to go. Another option for your gardeners, of course, is to get them a gardening basket. You might want to get them like a higher end, more expensive gardening tool set, or even like some florals that they can plant, as opposed to just a bouquet of florals, which is fine too. But you know, you could just put together a nice basket of florals that they can plant in their garden. You know, those are options as well. Another great Mother's Day idea is to treat her to a spa day. So either you include a gift certificate for her and maybe a friend if she's super social, or for her and you to go and have a spa day. Or like if you're a guy and you're not into doing spas, although I think guys should do spas too because they're really fun. Like both of you go for a facial. I can't even tell you how much a mom would appreciate going with her son to get a facial. Speaking from experience. My son, I think, would go for a facial, honestly. But anyway, doing something where it's special between you and her, that's not on the day. So whether you be treating her to a day of shopping where you're just with her and it's all about her, that is worth more than I think any present, is just spending time with your child. So if you want to give her the ultimate present, spend some time with her in some way. Another thing that doesn't cost any money but is so meaningful is to make a list or write a letter saying all the things that you appreciate about your mom and are thankful for. And I'm not talking just like 1 or 2 things, but writing out a whole list. I like that, you know, saying thank you mom for this and this and this, or when you did this mom when I was a kid, it was so meaningful to me. Different things like that where you take the time to write down memories or attributes that she has that you're thankful for. That means so much to a mom. The last thing that I want to share with you that I think is awesome is silk pillowcases. So I got this from Lily Silk and I absolutely love it. Again, not sponsored. Lily Silk is amazing. I also really enjoy just satin pillowcases. What's great about silk pillowcases is that it keeps your hair, keeps the hairstyle longer, helps with breakage, it helps with your skin, and even my husband is into them now. I basically want silk everything these days. So love the silk pillowcases. I'll leave silk and satin. Satin is still great. Like I've got satin ones as well that I still use and am enjoying. And both of these have washed really well. So yeah, like silk and satin pillowcases. I know it sounds like a weird thing to get them. Maybe you could include it with a few other things, but I just think that they're great. They're something that people wouldn't normally use, but oh, they're so good for your hair and your skin and all of that. So highly recommend the pillowcases. And I think that's it. What are your recommendations for great Mother's Day presents? I think, again, the most important thing is give them your time on Mother's Day. If at all possible, spend time with them. Share with them how much you appreciate them. That means more than any gift you could possibly get them. If your spouse is a mother, tell her why she's so special, how she's been a great mom. Really spend time celebrating her. That will mean more to her than any gift. But like, let's face it, gifts don't hurt. Like, gifts are good. I like gifts. So that's it. Yeah, if you have any suggestions, please leave them below. Everything that I can think of will be linked down below for you to check out. And that's it. Have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.